The Ukraine with a home side there.
And York Hall, as well as Alexandra Palace, is one of the venues to see boxing.
Absolutely. Well, Scott Welsh in the corner again of Eric Carbonell in the blue corner. Timothy Agbetile in the red corner, boxing out of Repton and Bethnal Green, one of the oldest clubs in London.
There is pressure on you when you're in that famous Repton West. It's such a almost legendary club, you know, really at the heart of British boxing, at the heart of British amateur boxing, and produces champion after champion.
Oh, lovely right-hand counter from Agbetile there. Waiting for Carbonell to commit, pops it over the top, and then another more of a sweeping right hand the second time, but both of those landed.
Repton has only recently actually added a women's boxing class for the first time, and I believe Repton has had 2 female boxers competing for Repton for the first time, both winning, of course.
And, one of them is, I believe, Lisa Mort, who's been put straight through to Sunday's final, largely due to a lack of female competitors in her weight category, which is not the greatest reflection, but as we were saying in the all-women and girls tournament a couple of weeks ago in the studio, John, the amateur side of women's boxing is growing, there is momentum there, and it's great to see both sides of the sport competing at the same event.
Women's boxing, women's amateur boxing is developing, it is developing quickly. It's almost a numbers game in that it is hard for female boxers to get bouts. They have to travel across the country. That's the useful thing about a tournament like this. It brings all the clubs together, and you can actually get a match in an event like this rather than having to wait for the championships and not being able to compete for most of the season.
We spoke to 3 ladies of Cairo from the only boxing club on the island of Jersey. And as we say, that right hand landed from Agbetile. Sure how much Carbonell lost his footing, or whether that was as a direct result of the punch.
I think the referee considers that a slip rather than a knockdown.
He's got his feet caught underneath him as the punch landed, but certainly took a shot on the way down. A good start from Timothy Agbetile, the Repton man. But, yeah, going back to the girls from Jersey, just talking about the lack of opportunity they've had. Some of them have been boxing for 2 or 3 years and only had 3-4 amateur contests because it's just impossible to get bouts, and they have to self-fund their travel and all of that side of things. And, you know, but it's great to have an opportunity like this for them, and maybe 1 or 2 of them can get through to the semi-finals and on to the final and almost double their tally of contests that they've had over in the last 3 years.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's just it's impressive when you find a young boxer who, well, a boxer who's young but has been boxing for years, you know, maybe 8 years since they first started, but only had a few bouts because it's just hard to find the competition.
Oh, Carbonell's caught with a couple of shots there. You see a slightly worried look in the eyes. He steps forward, keeps moving in a straight line. Agbetile's catching him as he comes forwards. Nice counter jab from Agbetile as well. The Repton man in green. A reddening on the cheek of Carbonell, his right cheek. Eye out for that one. Of course, the best place to get cut is below the eye. Might taste bad, but really anything below the eye is not going to do you any long-term problems in terms of a contest. That cheek is reddening. And he walked forward, throwing all sorts there, but missing everything.
Just shows how important distance it really is. That's so often key to winning just having that right judgment of distance, knowing when to move back. You don't have to move back by a mile. If you move back just enough to make the punch graze you, that's what you need to be doing. Strength is leaking out of both of them a little bit now, sort of swinging with their arms.
Absolutely, both much more flat-footed than they were in the opening round, and as you say, you could just feel the snap and spike go out of the punches, but Agbetile on the bell there landed a nice left-right combination, both taken by Carbonell, flush on the jaw, and well, say right on the belt, leaves a lasting impression in the mind of the judges. And the Repton man looks to be perhaps edging this one over the first 2 rounds. So can Eric Carbonell produce something in his 3rd and final round to turn the tide?
He's up on his feet, ready to go. Agbetile breathing heavily.
Put a lot into that last round, Timothy Agbetile.
Repton boxer seems to have the longer arms. You'd think he should be putting that to his advantage, trying to use that range, but he's sort of standing on the inside and just meeting leather with leather. He
was throwing some nice counter shots in the opening 2 minutes, but seemed to sort of fade as the fight progressed into the 2nd round. Nice counter jabs and nice singular shots. As you say, just turned into sort of feet planted, slugging away at the body. So Agbetile, can he get back to the nice boxing we saw? Can Carbonell put him under some sustained pressure and get a result here? Nice lead right though from Agbetile, that's better work.
And those eye-catching shots really help you win a round. They're the ones the judges notice. It's no longer a sort of computer punch-counting, point-scoring system, but still landing a hard, clean shot from range counts, I think, for more than these cuffing blows that Carbonell's bringing in on the inside.
Well, it's really gone from being a fencing match to more like a professional style boxing match. What are your thoughts on the new system versus the old system? Do you prefer the new 10-point must, or do you think the old sort of fencing point scoring system was more preferable?
You know, I'm probably the only person who actually quite liked amateur boxing's old computer scoring system. I thought for the last Olympics they'd actually got it about right. I quite like the way that system, it rewarded sort of skill and technique and punches landed, and wasn't so worried about the power shots, whereas professional boxing is much more bloodthirsty. They do want to see their knockouts. That's kind of what it's all about. I have to concede though, not many other people feel that way. I think there was a lot of confusion over decisions in the last Olympic Games. Controversy, arguments. At least having it consistent at sort of, scoring each round 10-9 or 10-8 for dominance. At least it makes it consistent. Bringing the head guards off. You do see more clearly who's boxing. It does have that. So overall, probably most people would like the new changes, but I didn't mind the old ways.
You're old school though, John, you see.
I'm just too soft-hearted. I liked amateur boxing, pecking and poking, a bit of fencing.
Well, I remember well the incredibly technical and fast point-scoring bouts. Amir Khan and Mario Kindelen's one that sticks out for me. James DeGale's Olympic final as well. And being able to watch on the TV and see the points tally going up at home, but the boxers not necessarily knowing who was in front was a very exciting element. And I think that is certainly one thing that's missed. But I suppose in terms of pure all-out action, that it's very hard when you've got certain pros tearing through the professional ranks in the style that they do. Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin. When you then come back to the amateur level, it can look a little bit tame in comparison, and I think that was Aiba's sort of reason for doing that, wasn't it? To kind of up the wow factor, draw the crowds in. To an extent it's worked, but I know what you're saying, it sort of loses its identity as a separate form of the sport, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they are being blended together. We are seeing these sort of
Brief bout of conversation while the result comes in. Carbonell did do enough.
Really came back into it there after, you know, after a bad start, a bad first round. It just shows.
Well, great work from Eric Carbonell there after perhaps being behind after the first round. Turned the tide, put some pressure on Timothy Agbetile, who wasn't able to maintain the nice counter punching that we saw in the first round.